Hi everyone, Duane here with more Excel quick tips. Today we're looking at using keyboard commands to move around and select cells and ranges. On the left side of this little file there is a table that I'm going to use to demonstrate selecting and moving. On the right there's a list of keyboard commands and the results you can get. I'm clicking in the table on the left and I'm doing a Control Home. This will always, no matter where you are, Control Home will take you to A1. Clicking back in the middle there, I hit the Home key. Takes me to column A in that row, wherever I am on the sheet. If I click back in there and I hold down the Shift key and do Control Home, so that's Control Shift Home, it will select from where I am to A1. Similarly, if I click in the sheet and hold down the Shift key and just hit Home, it selects from where I am to column A. If I click in A2 and I do a Control right arrow, it takes me to the last point of data of that table. That's column E. If I click back in A2 and do a Control down arrow, it takes me to the lowest point of data in that table. Back to A2. This time I'm going to hold down the Shift key while doing a Control right arrow. So Control Shift right arrow highlights across there. Similarly, if I do it down. Now that I've selected on the left, if I do a Control Shift right arrow, it selects the entire table. If I click in a cell there and do a Control End, it'll take me to the last cell that I've entered data into. If I do a Control Home, then a Control Shift End, it selects all the way. Control Home once again. And if I do a page down, it moves me down a page. If I hold down the Shift key and do a page down, it'll select. If I do, I'm clicking in a cell to get off that highlight, but if I do an Alt page down, it moves me across a page at a time. Alt page up, back. If I hold down the Shift key, of course it's going to select that row across a page. Clicking back in the sheet again. Now if I do a Control page down, it takes me to the next sheet. Another Control page down, the next sheet. Control page up goes the other way. From the first sheet, if I do a Control Shift page down, it selects both sheets. Control page down, Control page up, moves me about the sheets. If I click in the middle of the sheet and I do a Control A, it will select everything around that cell. So the entire table there is selected. If I click in there and I do a Control spacebar, it selects the entire column all the way down. Hitting an arrow key to get off that highlight, if I do a Shift in spacebar, it selects the entire row. Off the highlight once again, and I'm going to hit the F8 key. This is the select key, and as soon as I do it, it puts it into what's called extend mode. And if I hit the right arrow, you see it's actually extending just by itself, having hit the F8 key. Now if I hit F8 again, it turns that off. Now I'm just going to highlight some cells here. And I'm going to do a Shift F8. That's extend mode. But now if I right arrow, it stays selected. And I've moved the cursor, or the active cell off to the right. I'm holding down the Shift key and I'm hitting the down arrow key, and I've selected two non-adjacent ranges, or non-contiguous. I'm clicking on the left-hand side in column A, and I'm hitting the End key. Nothing happens, but if I hit the right arrow key, it moves me to the last point of data. If I go Home, hit the End key, hold down the Shift key and the right arrow, and you see what happens? It selects from start to end. Well, there's navigating and selecting cells using keyboard commands. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you want to subscribe, that'd be fantastic. If you have any questions or you want to know something about this file, or you want a copy of the file, please send me an email just to info@projectexcel.com.au. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.